Alright, everybody, thank you for joining me here today on this January 8th, 2024 afternoon. Today we're here for significant severe weather coverage. Alright, we have a new tornado warning in effect right now for, let's see here, we've got one for San Augustine, Angelina, and Sabine County down in southeastern Texas. Seek shelter immediately, lowest floor possible, away from windows if you are included in that warning here. Just now getting the radar pulled up. I just got home, alright? So this is going to be a pretty intense severe weather outbreak likely, as we have an enhanced risk of severe weather with a hatched risk for tornadoes, which is significant if you're not familiar with the weather terms, alright? So we go ahead and take a look at this tornado warning here. We take a look at the velocities. Unfortunately, this is in a bit of a radar hole, so it's going to be kind of hard to see, but we do have some slight rotation here. It's looking like just south and west of Pineland in Texas, okay? So seek shelter immediately, lowest floor possible, away from windows. Once again, if you are included in that warning, and it's not just that, alright? We also have 4 severe thunderstorm warnings in effect, one with a 1.75 inch hail on it here down in Forest County, Mississippi, alright? Sorry, this is the wrong warning. This is the correct warning here. You can see that pink there. That's some large to very large hail, alright? Seek shelter immediately, lowest floor possible, preferably, and especially away from windows if you're in that warning, because that hail is going to be incredibly destructive. Now, we've already seen 1 or 2 tornadoes today, I do believe. Like I said, I literally just got home from school as I'm speaking, so yeah, it looks like we had 1 tornado earlier down in Camden, Texas, and then I believe we had another one. Yep, we had another one, or no, I think that was the same tornado warning, actually. So Camden, I'm trying to see if we've had any other today. Yep, we did. We had one for Goodrich, West Livingston, New Willard. Okay, so we've had a few tornadoes today, actually, in portions of southeastern Texas and then southwestern Louisiana, alright? We also do have a tornado watch in effect here, alright? I believe it is 2 separate tornado watches. Never mind, maybe it's just 1 tornado watch, but it is in effect for most of southeastern Texas and southwestern Louisiana here in these yellow boxes, alright? So the description with this is a few tornadoes likely, scattered hail up to 2-inch size possible, and scattered gusts up to 70 miles per hour possible. So this is not going to be something you want to play around with, alright? This is going to be a significant outbreak in every sense of the words, alright? So we do have several storm chasers on the ground here tonight, luckily. So if we do get any significant severe weather, we will likely get easy reports from it, alright? We do also have a storm down here with a tornado possible tag in portions of southwest Louisiana. This one has, in my opinion, even more rotation than the storm that actually has our tornado warning, okay? So be careful in that area. But yeah, really everywhere from Houston back over to New Orleans is going to be needing to watch out over the next few hours. And then what's even crazier is that we also have an enhanced risk for severe weather tomorrow. Let me go ahead and turn on our risk, okay? So this is today's risk, right? We've got, come on, pop up, please. It takes a while for it to load on computer for some reason. I'm really not sure why, because this is a pretty decent computer. But anyway, okay, it's there. Wait, I have to fill in the opacity. Hold on just a second here, guys. Settings, or no, the polygon fill opacity. There we go. Alright, so we can see that in the orange right there, that's our enhanced risk of severe weather. That's our area that we're really looking out for tonight for significant severe weather, alright? Yellow is our slight risk. You could still definitely see some severe weather in that region. And then also we have a pretty large marginal risk there in the green, extending from Tallahassee back down near Corpus Christi, right? So we go into tomorrow, alright? Like I said, tomorrow we also have an enhanced risk of severe weather. This one potentially even more concerning, right? Because it's for all of northern Florida, southeast Alabama, southern Georgia, alright, South Carolina, most of the state, and then eastern and southern North Carolina, alright? And these both have 10% hatched risk for tornadoes on them, alright? So we're going to be looking at significant severe weather all across the southeast United States for the next few days. I will be going live at least today and tomorrow, and then maybe one or two more times this week if the threat gets upgraded, because we have 2 more slight risks, a day 4 and a day 5 slight risk of severe weather, which is still significant and could get upgraded, right? So that's what we're doing today, severe weather coverage here. Let me go ahead and just confirm that everything is working well. Looks like it. Alright, yeah, here we are today. If you have any questions, leave them down below in chat. If you have a question about your location, what it could see, or if you just want to talk to me, chat and chill, then that is obviously fine too. So, I had the chat pulled up here, so feel free to ask me any questions relating to the weather, and we are good to go here, alright? So, yeah, thank you for all the support recently. It's been a pretty crazy few months, alright? Let's go ahead and take a look at our storm here, southwest of Pineland. Yeah, it's hard to tell because we are in a bit of a radar hole. Basically, what a radar hole is, okay, so we got these radars here, right? We got one for southwestern Louisiana, we got one for west central Louisiana, we got one for Houston, we've got one near DFW, right? But in the area in between all of those radar sites where we don't have any that can reach that far out, this is what we call a radar hole, right? We also have the East Texas radar site. So basically, we have all these radars surrounding our radar hole, but none of them can actually reach to send a good signal out to the big circle that I drew here. And you can see our tornado warning is right on the edge of that, okay? So once this storm does move out to the east, it will be a little bit easier to track and to see the real severity of, but as of right now, it is a little bit tricky, all right? I do not believe we have any new alerts. Oh, we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning here. It is an insignificant one, though, all right? Just for 1-inch hail down in Mississippi. So I'm probably going to go ahead and give my voice a little bit of a break here. Let's see. I do actually want to turn on noise for if a warning gets issued, because obviously right now that is not the case. So we're going to go, let's see here, desktop alert sound. All right, there we go. Wait, no, that doesn't do it. I need to turn on sound. Aha, got it. We need to do alarm for tornado warnings, and then I will also do the same for a severe thunderstorm warning. Or maybe we do a chime for a severe thunderstorm warning, except there is a difference. I think that's a good idea. I have not had Radar Omega on computer for too long, so I'm not too set up yet, as you can probably tell. But, yeah, we're here today. This is the first time I've gone live with Radar Omega on computer. Before, I was just using it on my iPad. But yeah, right now we are looking across that area. But I would like to point out, just look at how ridiculous this is, guys. Probably, if you are in the United States, there's about a 25 to 50% chance, or potentially even higher, that you're under some kind of weather alert right now. This is one of the most ridiculous views you will ever see. Okay, if you're a weather watch warning and advisory nerd. Okay, so all of our light browns, those are our wind advisories. We have wind advisories like everywhere across the southern United States, basically. Hold on, we got a new radar update. I'll go back to that in a second here. I want to check up on this storm. Let's see. Velocities. Nothing yet. Nothing too significant. It does seem to have a little bit of rotation on it, obviously, but not looking like it's too scary right now, right? But like I was saying, your light browns, your tannish brown colors, those are your wind advisories. Your purples are winter weather advisories. Pinks, winter storm warnings. Red, blizzard warnings. Greens, flood watches. We got a lot of those. Blues, winter storm watches. All right, and it's whenever you get like between a blizzard and a severe weather outbreak that this view is as intense as it is. Because not only do we have this extreme severe weather outbreak here going on, but we also have a pretty big winter storm happening. Actually, a couple of winter storms, right? We got some pretty significant snowfall here in portions of Kansas at the moment, around the Dodge City area. Actually, that might be rain, but there is snow on the western side of that. So yeah, it's just pretty intense right now in general. All right, we do not have any new alerts as of right now. We also have a flash flood warning. I guess we could take a look at. That is for Lake Charles, which is a pretty populated area. That's where the radar site is, actually. But, yeah, it's looking like we could be looking at a few inches of rain in that area. Speaking of which, let's go and turn on the storm total precipitation here. There we go. Got that on. So, from the Lake Charles radar site, which is where most of the action will happen, it's looking like this area here in southeastern Louisiana could get quite a bit of action. Southern Louisiana, just in general, could get quite a bit of rain. But we, switch the radar here. We can also see we got a lot of significant rain in Texas. All right, we could see a few flood warnings out of this whole line of rain as well around the College Station, Woodlands area. All right, so it's just a pretty crazy outbreak, with all threats in play here. Honestly, okay, there's no other way to phrase that. It's just a pretty intense outbreak, especially at the moment here. It does not look like we have any other viewers watching at the moment. We had one there for several minutes, but for right now, we do not have anybody watching. So I'm probably just gonna give my voice a rest here, and just kind of chill for a minute until something new happens. way, everybody, I will probably be live for like that hour to hour and a half range like I usually am. So you can expect me to be live until probably, 4:35 p.m. Okay, I think that's a good estimate on my part. Let's go ahead and take a look at our new radar scan here. Yeah, okay, so the rotation really is starting to pick up here, especially on the northern side of this warning here. So this is coming straight for Beach, I would say. So seek shelter if you're in that warning still. I mean, you should already be in shelter, but stay in. All right, this is a pretty bad-looking storm at the moment. Give it a minute to cross over you until you leave your safe space. And then we can also check up on our big hailstorm here in Forest County in Mississippi. And yeah, it looks like south of New Augusta, you could be getting quite large hail in that area. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of a radar loop here, see what this storm has been doing with its hail core. Let's see here. So, yeah, this is the one. I think it did actually have some even larger hail down here near Wiggins. There have been several significant hail reports today. We've had some hail reports up to 2.5 inches in size, which is odd because hail was expected to be a lesser threat with this outbreak. The bigger threat was supposed to be the damaging wind threat and then also that tornado threat, obviously. But hail is turning out to be pretty bad as well, all right? I would have issued a hatch risk for hail at the 2 p.m. Storm Prediction Center update, but they did not do that, which is okay. But yeah, we do not have a new radar scan at the moment on the radar that we're using to look at our tornado warning storm. That tornado warning should expire in just a minute here, but yeah. This is going to be a pretty significant outbreak, I do believe. Which I know I've said several times, but really want to hammer it home that you need to be extremely careful tonight if you are in this circle. I've been talking about this for a while. Okay, our other severe thunderstorm warning in Mississippi also got upgraded here to 1.75 inch hail. It's for the same storm, but it's now moving off to the east here. So if you're in the New Augusta, Richton area, I would seek shelter away from windows because, that 1.75 inch hail comes at your windows potentially at 60 miles per hour because that's how fast the winds are that the storm is producing. That could be extremely dangerous, all right? That could cause significant roof damage. I imagine we're going to see some bad reports out of Mississippi tonight. I do think that's where the hail threat is the greatest. Louisiana and Mississippi, I would say. Texas, you could be looking at some hail, but really this is the area where we're looking at for the higher tornado threat and damaging wind threat, I suppose. So our new radar scan here, I guess we don't have it for the velocities yet. But yeah, it's looking like we're getting extremely close to the town of Beach here in Texas. So you're going to want to seek shelter there, obviously. Alright, so we did get our severe thunderstorm warning to expire off to the west of our storm here for Hattiesburg. So if you're in Hattiesburg, you can get out of shelter. I don't think that's real rotation, but if it was, that would be pretty intense. Alright, that was a pretty significant velocity signature, but that's not real. That's just like a weird radar signal glitch. I mean, that's not really what it is, but it's hard to explain without getting, like, too weather nerdy, but yeah. Once again, watching this storm pretty closely here south of San Augustine. If you're just now joining us, we do have a tornado warning ongoing here. Will expire in the next minute, but I imagine they're going to reissue that because now the velocity is looking a little bit more intense here. It was never really too bad, but it is starting to pick up quite a bit here. And even if this does not drop a tornado, we've got winds kind of around that 60 mile per hour mark. It is looking like, okay, so you need to be careful if you are down here. I'm kind of surprised they have not issued a severe thunderstorm warning for that area. But yeah, that was a terrible voice crack. You guys ever just have that one, like, extremely embarrassing voice crack? It happens to me more than I'd like to admit. Let's see here. Yeah, it's looking like this tornado warning is going to expire here, but I imagine they will issue a new one, probably extending off to the north here, so you can expect a tornado warning within the next few minutes, I would say, in this whole area. So Brodus, and then also Pineland, I would say you're probably going to get a tornado warning pretty soon, because the storm is moving off towards you. Maybe not Pineland, but it is possible the storm could take a dive to the east, so they'll probably issue a tornado warning for that area. Alright, our tornado warning has expired, and they have not reissued one. We also got a couple severe thunderstorm warnings to expire, or just one, I guess, within the last few minutes. So we are only left with one storm that I would really call shelter-worthy. It is a big boy, alright. Oh, Okay, I jinxed it. I say where the action's downtrending, but we get a new severe thunderstorm warning here. So it's interesting. They did not include the tornado. They did not extend the tornado warning for that storm, but they issued a severe thunderstorm warning, which I also mentioned they probably should. And they put the tornado possible tag on it, which I think is a good move. Because basically, if you don't know, a tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning is like the step below a tornado warning. Okay. So yeah. Let's see here. Maybe you don't need to seek shelter because the rotation is weakening quite a bit. Or I mean, it never really was that strong, at least from what I saw. Maybe it was stronger before, but you don't need to seek shelter. But that is a significant severe thunderstorm, I would say. But again, that one storm we're really watching at this point that's shelter worthy. Hold on, we got a new radar scan. Let's check up on our storm here. The velocity scan usually does not come in after until like a few minutes after the reflectivity does, and that's what's important for watching tornadoes. It did come in. Yeah, the rotation is weakening quite a bit here. Now around the Strickland Crossing area, it's pretty weak. It's weakening quite a bit, actually. But we could still be looking at some wind gusts, potentially around 60 miles per hour, around Anthony Harbor. I guess this was actually the area with the rotation. Okay, so it really hasn't weakened much. And like I said, some gusts in here are getting around that 60 mile per hour mark. So yeah, hold on. One of my friends is texting me. I will stay on stream here for y'all, but I'm going to go ahead and text him back. He had a question about the weather for me, ironically enough. I'm just kind of the forecast boy for all my friends now, which I'm fine with. I'm happy doing this. Yeah. So, oh wow. So I see why he texted me. There's actually a pretty significant amount of rain moving into my area. Let's go ahead and respond to him. So yeah. I texted him back. He might have another question for me. I'm going to tell him I'm live right now. See if he'll join us. Maybe I can get him on call, actually. Sounds like fun. He probably doesn't think so, but I do. But yeah. Any viewers just now joining, we are looking at 4 severe thunderstorm warnings right now. Only one is really shelter-worthy in my opinion, and that is for just east here of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. You're going to want to seek shelter if you're in New Augusta or Richton because you've got a pretty significant hail core moving in here with potentially hail in that, 1 to 2 inch mark. All right, it's warned for 1.75 inches, which I think is a good label for it there. I don't know what happened. I just lost my voice all of a sudden. We're also looking at some pretty intense wind gusts for this area, potentially even getting upwards of, 65 to 70 miles per hour. We got a 67 mile per hour gust here just north of Maned, if that's how you pronounce that. So, I mean, we've got some significant winds. So I'd be careful there. Let's see. Do not have any new warnings at the moment. Let's check up at on our storm that has the tornado possible tag, or one of them that has the tornado possible tag. Okay, so it's still got a little bit of rotation on it. Really, it's just the southern side, though. I don't know what happened to my voice. All of a sudden, it just sounds really bad. It doesn't feel like it's hurting, and I don't feel like I'm sick or anything. It just got really weak all of a sudden, so sorry about that. But Anthony Harbor, you're experiencing a pretty significant wind bag right now of about 65 to 70 miles per hour potentially, so I'd be extremely careful in that area. Those are definitely some significant gusts. Our other storm with the tornado possible tag here is down in Louisiana. Let's check the rotation on that. I've actually not looked at that yet. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is way more intense. We've got several areas of rotation here. Not saying this is like a terrible situation or anything, but this one's definitely worse than our one in Texas. And I mean, even if we don't get a tornado drop, there's still like 60 mile per hour winds in this thing. So, yeah. Be careful, I'd say. I did figure out how to change the wind gusts from meters to second over to miles per hour since the last live stream, by the way. I was complaining about that last time during the Tennessee tornado outbreak. But yeah. really the significant part of this system is going to occur later on at night, which unfortunately I am not going to be live for, because I want to not sit in here and just cover weather for hours upon hours. So I will not be live for the most intense part of this storm, but I mean, that's not to say we don't have some crazy stuff going on right now. We can see a new tornado warning pop up any second. Okay, so, let's go ahead and see here if we have got any new questions in the chat. Hey, Mr. Storm. I don't know if you're still here, because you left that chat quite a while ago, but hello, Mr. Storm, if you are still watching. I appreciate you for tuning in. Mr. Storm makes great videos as well. He makes, more long-form content than me. He goes quite a bit more in detail, in depth, so shout out to you, Mr. Storm. But yeah. Once again, if you are just now tuning in, we've got some significant storms across portions of Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas. We do have a new radar scan here for our hailstorm. Looks like that hail core is weakening just a little bit. If you start to hear some background noise, it is about to start raining pretty heavily outside of my house, so sorry about that. But, yeah. Do not worry, though. I'm not in the severe threat for today. It's just going to be raining here, so yeah. Probably be raining for the rest of the stream, actually. Alright, so, yeah, we do have quite a bit of rotation down here in southeastern Louisiana, just west of the New Orleans area. Okay, and new radar scan is still keeping that pretty strong, maybe just a little bit weaker. Again, we have several areas starting to develop rotation here, and the wind gusts are getting even more intense. Some of those gusts are approaching 70 miles per hour even. Alright, we've got a 69.35. Let's see here. Hello, Mr. Phantom. 73. Wow. And that's not even included in the severe thunderstorm warning. Okay. Man, we got a new velocity update pretty quickly. It does seem like we have a few new viewers here, so I'm just going to go ahead and reiterate what we're doing here. We have 4 severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. Okay, none of them are shelter-worthy anymore because they did reduce that hailstorm rating. Looks like we got a lot of people leaving stickers in the chat. I do appreciate that, everybody. Thank you so much. So we're really just watching 4 storms here now with a severe thunderstorm tag. Alright, if you have any questions for me about the weather, maybe about your location, just leave them down in chat and I will be able to check up on that for you. Again, the main area we're watching here is basically, I'll kind of circle it in here, it's really this corridor down in the southeast quadrant across portions of Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and especially Louisiana. I'd say Louisiana is probably the hot spot for tonight's event. So I'd be wary of that. Alright, again, the worst storm that we do have in effect right now is down here near Napoleonville in Louisiana. We are getting some pretty significant wind gusts as well as quite a bit of rotation on this storm. Alright, so you're going to want to be very careful in this area. Alright, that's for sure. Man, we are getting radar updates so quickly now. Okay. Every time you hear that little psh, that's a radar update, right? Yeah, we're getting gusts. Oh my gosh, they issued a tornado warning. Yep. How bad will Texas be? It depends on what part of Texas you're talking about. We just got a tornado warning in Texas, actually. This is for a different storm than the one we were looking at earlier. This is for Eagle Lake here in Texas. And wow, okay, we're getting a huge velocity pickup. Anyway, to answer your question before I really need to start covering this, southeast Texas is going to get the worst of it, right? You could be looking at some storms really anywhere in eastern Texas, but around Houston's probably going to be the worst spot. But right now, we have a pretty significant tornado warning here just west of Eagle Lake. Okay, we are seeing some signature. You're in Dallas? Okay. Dallas is probably, once again, you're not really going to be looking too heavily into the severe threat. Let's go ahead and turn on our SPC outlook here. Yeah, Dallas is not even in the thunderstorm threat, so you should be good. You may be getting some rain showers throughout the day, but nothing too significant. Anyway, down here in Texas, right, let's go and turn on the correlation coefficient. This helps us see if there is debris in the atmosphere on this tornado, possible tornado. That would really confirm if there is a tornado. But basically, we are watching a pretty significant amount of rotation here in the Eagle Lake, Texas area. And this is a pretty decently populated area as well, right? So you're going to want to be extremely careful. We're kind of focused in on this storm now, for sure, I would say. This is looking not good, I would say. I don't want to scare anybody. Just get in your safe place immediately if you are in this tornado warning, and you'll be fine. This could be a tad bit of debris we're getting on the in the atmosphere, or it could just be a radar glitch or something. But you need to be in shelter regardless here. If you, especially for Eagle Lake, Rexy, Sealy, Wallace, Lizzie, maybe not Wallace quite yet, but it will reach you. Okay, I'm just gonna say that it's not looking good. All right. Again, I don't want to freak anybody out, but the fact that we have such a high-end tornado risk for today, and we're seeing rotation like this, it's not looking good. This is kind of what we saw. No, I'm not going to make a comparison to that. I was going to make a comparison to the Nashville, Tennessee tornado that we had last month that was super bad, but there's no way this will get as bad as that. At least it's not looking like that right now. But I was going to say the starting of that tornado kind of looked like this, but I would not worry that much about this. All right, I'm probably freaking people out. There's no reason to panic. Just get in your shelter. I think I'm just a little traumatized myself, actually, after the Tennessee tornado outbreak. Your mom's in Houston. That is, right now, Houston's probably not seeing anything, right? But down the line, if this storm reaches Houston, I mean, that could be bad, all right? So you might want to tell her about that, notify her that some significant storms could be coming her way. Houston does have a tornado watch at the minute here. So, yeah, you might want to notify her of that, Mr. Phantom there. Couldn't remember if your name was Mr. Storm or Mr. Phantom, because we got both in chat, but yeah. Again, there's no confirmed tornado on the ground at the minute, so there's no need to panic, but, okay, and the velocity's weakening. Alright, everybody. So it's not looking quite as bad now. We do have some winds getting to that 50-mile-per-hour mark, but the rotation is significantly weakening. That got pretty scary there for a second, but it is weakening, but it could recycle, so stay in shelter, alright? This is the worst storm we've seen yet this stream, which isn't saying much because we've only been live for, less than half an hour, but still, Eagle Lake, shelter immediately, I would say. Same thing for Lissy. It's probably going to go just north of Lissy, but if a tornado drops, it could lift debris in the atmosphere and throw it all the way to Lissy, possibly, if it's a big one. So, you're going to want to seek shelter in Lissy. Yeah. I'd say that's a good piece of advice. So, let's see here. We do have 4 severe thunderstorm warnings in effect still. Nothing new really there. Definitely not anything as significant as this tornado warning here down in southeast Texas. So, we're going to keep an eye on this. And yeah, just kind of chill with me here for a few minutes as we watch and see what this storm does. But yeah. Again, I'm sorry my voice has kind of gone. I don't know what happened. I'm not feeling bad, and my voice doesn't even feel like that tired, but my voice is just gone, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah. Once again, if you are just now tuning in, this is our main area right now, alright? Southeast Texas and southwest Louisiana is our main point of concern right now. We are seeing some problems outside of that, and there will be some problems outside of that later tonight. But now this is what we're seeing, and oh no, new tornado warning. Alright, new tornado warning for southeast Louisiana here around New Orleans. They reissued, they issued a tornado warning off of our tornado possible tag storm that we were talking about earlier. Now we do have a tornado warning here, alright? So we do have some weaker rotation here in southeast Louisiana, so be careful there. It looks like that tornado warning is going to be up for about the next hour, which is kind of crazy. So Lutcher, Edgard, Golden Star, Plantation, South Vatchery, Miles, St. James, Laurel Ridge Plantation. These are all kind of, little communities outside of New Orleans. You're going to want to seek shelter for probably the next hour, and I know that sounds ridiculous, but there's so many areas in here that could quickly develop rotation that you're just not going to want to take any chances, no matter where you're at in that warning, I would say. So, we'll go back to our storm here near Eagle Lake. Okay, so, it's weird. The rotation's it's getting weaker in some ways and stronger in others. We're starting to see higher winds pick up again, but it's not quite getting as tight. The reds and greens aren't kind of getting quite as close to each other. So Eagle Lake, stay in shelter immediately for sure, or get into shelter immediately, I should say. They just shrunk that tornado warning, still radar indicated, but yeah. It says Eagle Lake around 4:05 p.m. This will be near you. That is in 5 minutes, literally. So you're going to want to seek shelter now, for sure. But yeah. Anyway, I do like that new feature, or it's not really a new feature, but I've never turned it on. the alarm whenever the tornado warnings are issued. I've always had the chime for tornado warnings on mobile on, but the alarm I like much better because then I can turn the alarm on for tornado warnings and the chime on for severe thunderstorm warnings, so I can tell when what's issued. We have this tornado possible tag storm here in southeast Texas. Here, this had a tornado warning earlier. It does look like rotation's picking up a little bit again here, just west of Hemphill. So make out of that what you will. If I don't think that made sense, but you know what I mean. Down in southeast Texas, rotation's picking up, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So be careful. We had 2 tornado warnings ongoing. It really looked like things were going to calm down, but they picked right back up, which is really what we're going to be seeing during this outbreak. We're going to see a lot of downward trends, and then boom, a supercell pops up and produces a tornado. You know, we've already had several tornadoes today. We have not had any on stream yet, which is good. So we have not had any for at least the past half hour. The last one got on the ground like 45 minutes ago, but yeah. Sorry, I just have to give my voice a little break. It is starting to get a little sore now, my throat. I may not be able to go for that hour to hour and a half that I was hoping for. I may be slightly sick. It's kind of hard to tell. I've been, kind of off and on sick for the past few weeks. You know, whenever you're feeling great and then you feel terrible again? That's kind of what's happening to me. I'll throw up and then, the next day I'll be perfectly fine, giddy with joy. Got a radar update here. We do not have a velocity update. Okay, so everybody, thank you for watching. I'm not ending stream. I just realized when I said that it sounded like I was ending stream. Yeah, we're still going to be going for quite a bit. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in this afternoon. We are looking at tornado possibles. That made no sense. We're looking at storms where tornadoes could be possible over the next several hours here. Looks like our rotation near Eagle Lake is weakening quite a bit. Any new viewers? Once again, my voice is not doing great right now, so sorry about that, but yeah. New Orleans, let's see here. Let's get an update on our New Orleans storm. Dang, we're kind of getting into a radar hole again. It's unfortunate New Orleans doesn't have a good radar because it's kind of hard to look at the velocity and reflectivity through the base models, but we're going to have to for right now. So, okay, the rotation could be weakening. It's kind of getting, it's not quite as tight anymore, but still stay in shelter. Actually, wait, is this what it's warned for? Because there is some intense rotation there, if that's real. I can't tell if it is. If that could be trying to produce a tornado, I'd be careful with that for sure. You should be in shelter anyway, like I said, for probably the next hour if you're included in this warning, because that's how long it's going to last, and we could see rotation in this area for the whole time. But yeah. Again, unfortunately, the New Orleans radar only has base velocity. They don't have the high-resolution one, so it's hard to tell what's real. And they don't have a correlation coefficient at all, so we're not going to be able to see if debris is in the atmosphere with this storm, unfortunately. It sucks, but yeah. They really need to get a proper radar in there. Okay, new update to the velocities. Yeah, I would say that rotation is real at this point, and I'd say it is weakening. That there could be a weak tornado ongoing. Again, it's hard to tell, but there could be a weak tornado ongoing here west of New Orleans, okay? So be careful. Seek shelter if you are included in that tornado warning. But yeah. Sorry, I just got real quiet. It's just nobody's really watching right now, and I'm kind of just chilling. But yeah. Yeah, this storm is gonna suck to look at on radar. Man, I really wish we could get a good radar signal from here. Let's take a look at the base velocity, I guess. New severe thunderstorm warning. I almost said tornado warning because on mobile that's my tornado warning sound. That does include Tyler County, Texas, which is a pretty populated area. Or no, that's not. I was thinking of the city, Tyler, Texas, but there's still quite a few towns in this area. You could be seeing a storm with 1.25-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds approaching you, so stay indoors. You don't have to seek shelter, I would say, if you don't want to, but yeah. Not too strong rotation on this storm, but we do have some gusty winds here, estimated by radar around 60 miles per hour, which is what the storm is warned for. So yeah. Alright, new radar scan. I really need to turn that sound on mobile. That would help a lot. Alright, so just north of Eagle Lake, we're going to be looking at once again, not only okay, so it's weakening rotation, so this is probably not going to drop a tornado unless it recycles, but also some large hail, so you need to stay in shelter if you're here, okay, because there's still weak rotation right on top of Eagle Lake, so Eagle Lake, just give it a few minutes to get this past you, but after that, I'd say you're probably out of the danger zone, luckily. But yeah, I am happy that I was able to help out that viewer in Texas that we had earlier, Mr. Phantom. It seems that he has left the stream now, but you know what? I'm happy to help, honestly. That's why I like doing this. If I was able to do this for a job, that'd be incredible. I enjoy doing it. If you get good enough at it, you know, you get experience in meteorology, you can make quite a bit of money, but the most important thing to me would be helping people, you know. If you hear noise in the background, that is just my mom playing piano, so sorry about that. Maybe some nice background music, though, you know, you never know. So, let's see. This storm has a little bit of rotation still on the Texas-Louisiana border here, so be careful and wary of that. But there's not a tornado warning on it, and the rotation is weakening, so you don't need to seek shelter if you do not want to. Any new viewers just joining the stream, we have 2 tornado warnings in effect right now. One in southeast Texas here in the Eagle Lake area, and then one down in southeastern Louisiana near New Orleans, okay? So this New Orleans storm is looking like the more dangerous one here, but it is going to be hard to tell if there is a tornado on the ground or not because this radar site does not have good capabilities, basically, is the best way to describe that. Man, I really wish we could see because that rotation is getting bad. I mean, the National Weather Service will issue an observed tornado warning, probably if it does drop a tornado, but I mean, that's some scary rotation we're starting to see there. And again, it may not be accurate, but we could be looking at wind gusts potentially. Okay, new radar scan. Man, that really could be a tornado on the ground. We could be looking at wind gusts around 50 mile per hour at the moment, but before they were like 96, I think, was the highest we got. So, again, it sucks that we can't actually see the correlation coefficient on this to see if there's debris in the atmosphere, but we cannot, unfortunately. I guess we could look at the other radar site and see if we can get anything out of that, but we're probably not going to be able to because it's so far away. So let's see here. Yeah, I don't think there was ever a tornado on the ground. I'm interested to see what this is in the Convent area because I don't think that's just a radar signal because it's been heading north there. It looks like there could be some decent rotation. Would it be better to look at that from this radar and just use the base velocity? I don't know. Yeah, oh my gosh. This could be a tornado on the ground here near Convent. I would seek shelter. Again, it's just such a bad area to have bad storms in because we can't tell, you know, if there's something significant or not. But yeah, there could be a tornado on the ground there. I mean, it's hard to tell, but there's a velocity signature and a correlation coefficient drop, which means there's rotation on the storm and debris in the atmosphere, unless those are just weird radar signals. New severe thunderstorm warning. That is for Washington and Sharkey counties in Mississippi. If you've been interested in the weather for a while, you'll recognize the name Sharkey County, Mississippi, most likely, because that is where we had the deadly Rolling Fork tornado last year. That was the worst tornado of 2023, in my opinion, was the Rolling Fork tornado. I believe Rolling Fork's like, where's it at? It's like somewhere in here in this area. I recognize the the river here. But yeah, anyway, not important. This almost looks like to me it could have some hail bigger than 1 inch, but it is only warned for 1 inch here around the Longwood area. Okay, so look out for that. We do have some weak rotation here too, so I'm a little surprised they didn't slap a tornado possible tag on it, but that could just be a radar signal once again that's glitched. So yeah. Again, the two storms we're watching, New Orleans storm and Southeast Texas storm. Alright. It is, once again, basically impossible to know if there's a tornado on the ground near New Orleans because it's such a bad radar hole, but there could be. Okay, so you need to be in shelter if you're west of New Orleans. Gonna kind of give my voice a rest here for a second until something significant happens. Thank you for joining me this afternoon once again. I don't want to bore any viewers watching, so I'm going to go ahead and start talking again here. Right now, the two tornado warnings that we have, one just west of Houston and the other just west of New Orleans. Alright, so both pretty significantly populated areas down here in the southeast quadrant / deep south area. Alright, so once again, Eagle Lake, you could probably get out of shelter now if you really wanted to, because that rotation has passed you, and in fact, the rotation's really not even there anymore, I would say, but yeah. Let's see here. What's the special weather statement? Just strong thunderstorm? Yep. 600 alerts. That is insane. We have 600 different weather alerts in effect across the country. I mean, that's almost just like unfathomable. That's just crazy. And there's actually more than that because the watches get counted weird. They get counted per region that they cover, not per county. So really, we're probably close to that, 1,000 mark, really, for all the watches that we have. Maybe not thousands, but 700 probably. 800 maybe, because we have a lot of watches and a lot of them don't get counted. But yeah. We should get a radar update any minute now. It's a little concerning that we haven't gotten a radar update for the past 6 minutes. Usually in an event like this, it would get upgraded every 2 to 3 minutes at this point. And the only reason that that's concerning is that the radar could have gotten hit by something, but I don't think it did, because it's really not in the path of, it's in the path of these storms, but it's not under a storm right now. So yeah. Once again, if you have any questions at all, just leave them in chat for me, and I will answer them. Please keep it related to either weather or my channel, though. I'm not going to answer a question that's, who do you think will win the Bears game on Monday? I don't know if there's a Bears game on Monday, which is part of the reason I'm not going to answer any football questions, but yeah. Let's see here. We don't really have any big hail or wind bags right now. You'd think in an event like this where we have a hatch 30% risk for wind, we'd be looking at more upper end wind gusts. I mean, we have lots of 60 mile per hour gusts, but you'd expect it to get even higher than that, really. Looks like we do have a few storm chasers on the way here in the New Orleans area. That's Vince Walty on the left, and I believe that's Corey Gherkin on the right. Not sure, though. So if there is a tornado on the ground here in Louisiana or New Orleans, it's looking like they're trying to head to it, but it'll likely be off the ground if there is one by the time they get there, because they're still quite a ways away, and it's going to be hard to travel in conditions like this. And I don't even know if they're heading for it or not. Looks like they removed a severe thunderstorm warning in this area. Dude, that's some scary stuff. I think there's a tornado on the ground. We're going to have to wait to see if we get any reports out of that area. If there was a tornado on the ground, we will get reports out of that area because there's a decent population just to the east of it, you know. But right now, it's so hard to tell if there's a tornado. There could either be a strong tornado or there could be absolutely nothing on the ground, okay? You need to be in shelter either way if you are included in this warning. I believe they have shrunk it, yep, since it was issued, but for the next 45 minutes, if you're still in that warning, you've got to be in shelter. That's some scary-looking rotation. But yeah. Again, the main area we're watching right here is kind of, at the moment, just circling around the general area. In here, I would say. So from Houston back over to Mobile, that's where we're looking at right now. Once again, I will be going live tomorrow too for severe weather coverage, okay? Because we have a lot of severe weather risk across portions of the southeast tomorrow. But yeah. So one of our tornado warnings was allowed to expire, the one in Texas that didn't really have any rotation left, which sucks because the only one left is the one that's in a really bad radar hole, which is so unfortunate, you know. So I guess we could go ahead and talk about the severe thunderstorm warnings, but just know you need to be in shelter if you're in this tornado warning, but there's nothing to really look at there, you know. So the 3 severe thunderstorm warnings we have, right, are Sabine County, Texas, Sabine County, Louisiana, Shelby County, Texas, Hardin County, Texas, Jasper County, Texas, Tyler County, Texas, Washington County, Mississippi, and Sharkey County, Mississippi. Those are our only counties left with severe thunderstorm warnings on them, and none of them are really shelter-worthy. If you don't want to take shelter, you probably don't have to. A couple of them do have the tornado possible tag on them. This one's not really showing any great rotation, in my opinion. And then the other one that has the tornado possible tag. Oh, no, there's only one. Okay. So yeah. I'm not sure how much longer I may be live for, because, you know, I got stuff to do. As soon as I got home, I pressed the go live button, so, yeah, I've been live this whole time. Actually gonna go ahead and check up on my location, because I figured the rain would be heavier by now. Let's see here. I'm checking up on mobile, not on my computer. So it actually looks like the rain went just to the north and the west of my area, luckily. Kind of rebounded. It was looking like it was heading more north and east, but it went north and west. So you may hear a few sprinkles every once in a while outside my house, but nothing significant. We did get a new radar scan here for the radar I'm looking at, which is the West Louisiana radar. And nothing that's really poking out is super concerning. I will say, honestly, we have out of all the wind bags we have right now, the biggest one is down here south of San Augustine. Alright? We could have some strong gusts, I would say. Strong to potentially even severe gusts, as we do have a gust here of 62 miles an hour. I think this is warned for 50. No, it's warned for 40. Wow. We could see a severe thunderstorm warning out of that area within the next few minutes, you know. New severe thunderstorm warning. Not seeing it. Need a refresh, maybe. Yep. So, alright, Harrison, Fort Bend counties in Texas. 60-mile-per-hour winds here. That includes Houston. So, if you're in Houston, get inside now. It's about to get extreme out there. I know we had a viewer with his mother was in Houston, but yeah, I shouldn't say it's going to get extreme in Houston, but it's going to get windy in Houston for sure. 60-mile-per-hour winds are not something you want to play around with. You know, if a storm like this crossed over, you know, your average Joe, they'd probably just call it a strong storm, I would say. But technically, it is a severe storm. Only because of the wind, though. There's not too big of a hail core on this. There's probably not any hail at all. And if there was, there's definitely not any more. There's probably even barely any lightning/thunder coming out of this, honestly. It's that wind threat that we're looking at. Like southwest of Jersey Village, we could be looking at, your gusts that are of the severe limit just barely. So 58 miles an hour. So, could get some slightly severe gusts, especially northwest of Houston at the minute. But it's not a bad storm. All right, we could be looking at a few, limbs being blown off trees, power lines getting knocked over. I'm really interested to look at what this is. This is such a weird looking building on the radar. Not really weird, just cool. But yeah, I shouldn't have said it's going to get extreme in Houston earlier. That was probably an over exaggeration. But yeah. Man, I'm interested in that storm there, New Orleans. But again, there's no good way to look at it, unfortunately. Sorry, just giving my voice a break since, once again, not many people are watching at the moment. Possibly some winds getting, approaching that 65 mile per hour mark here, just north of Beaumont, Texas. Right now, the highest gust we have is 64.27. And the reason it gets so specific with that is because by default, it calculates it by meters per second. So if you transfer it to miles per hour, you can do that, but it's going to give you really odd specific numbers. But yeah. Because the meter per second transfers weird 2 miles per hour. I hope that made sense. I think it did. But yeah. You know what? Why don't I double box here? I've not done that all stream, but since I bought a higher level subscription to Radar Omega around the Christmas time, I can do that now. So you can see your reflectivity on the left, velocity on the right. Velocity is checking how strong our winds are and seeing if there is any rotation, and then reflectivity is kind of your rain and hail checker. And, we can see if a storm starts to develop a hook on there, which usually, or not usually, but sometimes can lead to a tornado. Oh, okay, they actually dropped our tornado warning here west of New Orleans, so I guess the rotation really is weakening. I haven't checked for a while. There's not even a point in checking, though, because it's just going to be weird. It is a little bit more laggy when I double box, so I think I'm actually going to go back to single box, and then if we want to see something, we can just, change from reflectivity to whatever we want to see. I will probably end these streams soon, not at the exact minute, but, not many people are really watching, and, at the moment, these storms are kind of weakening. Okay, now, they are going to pick back up, and we're not even at the peak intensity of this event yet, likely, but they are weakening at the minute. It's looking like I'll probably end stream soon, basically, is what I'm saying, unless a new tornado warning comes out, or a significant severe thunderstorm warning. And nobody's really watching, so it's not really worth going if nobody's even watching. It's kind of this one storm here that's really keeping me live that I'm interested in. I haven't really said anything about this storm too much. I did mention gusty winds, and it's honestly looking at this point like we could have some winds over 70 miles per hour. These are the significant types of winds I was talking about, especially in the title of this video, or this live, where I said destructive winds. This warning should get upgraded to 70 miles per hour for sure. Now, not everybody in the warning is going to see 70-mile-an-hour winds, on top of their house, but there is a little small core here just south of Council with 70-plus mile-per-hour winds if the radar is estimating correctly. And new radar scan, and it looks like we've still got a couple of gusts around it. Nope, never mind, it weakened. Okay, so it was only that intense for a very short amount of time, or I just missed it the whole time. As intense, I guess, as possible. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, it had rotation for a little bit, then that went away, and then, really it was just the winds picking up, and now they're kind of weakening again. They are back down to, the max being 58 mile an hour. There's some large hail on this storm here. The peak hail intensity will be north of Silsby right now, but yeah. Radar update already. I guess only the reflectivity update, the velocity update later, which is why we got it just a minute ago, and now we're already getting another reflectivity, because the reflectivity is basically, you could kind of say it's almost one scan ahead of the velocities. Like whenever you lap somebody in a race or something, that's kind of what it's like. So yeah, the winds are weakening here near Fresnius, so I guess the National Weather Service, it's probably a good thing they did not upgrade this to 70 miles an hour, because it was only that intense for like a couple minutes. A lot of the intensity really happened just before I went live, and there's probably going to be, we're probably going to get the biggest tornado ever on the ground as soon as I end the stream, because that's just how my luck works, But, yeah. Not gotten any new viewers for a while, so I will end soon if we do not get any more viewers. And it's not just because of that, it's also because these storms are just kind of weakening. We just lost one of our severe thunderstorm warnings, so yeah, that's proof that it's really weakening. We've only got this one left, and then the one near Houston, right? Now, this one's really not even probably producing hardly any lightning inside this warning box. It's just the winds that we're worried about here, near Jersey Village at the minute. But yeah. I mean, those winds are around the 60 mile per hour mark like it's warned for. Almost exactly in the most intense spot of this storm here. That will be entering the Houston metro soon. I have Carry On That Wayward Son stuck in my head because I've been playing that in band. I'm sure absolutely nobody cares about that, but if you hear me start to whisper, "Carry on that wayward son," you know why. I mean, I probably won't do that because I'll get copyrighted. But yeah. There's too many radar holes down south, man, I swear. So this still has a little bit of rotation on it, actually. Or it's developing rotation, not sure which one. I don't remember if this storm had rotation or not. We've been looking at a lot of storms. It's hard to keep track of them all. But yeah. I do want to reach the 1 hour mark on the stream, at least before we end live here. But yeah. I will probably make a weather video tonight, just kind of updating everybody, and then obviously I'm going to be live tomorrow too. Yes, nice. Okay, I'm so happy right now. I'm not going to miss the Ryan Hole stream. Basically, ever since I've started going live, I've been going live while Ryan Hole's live, so I miss his streams, which sucks, because I used to watch every single one of them live. But now, it looks like he's going live later at the peak of this event, around 6 p.m. my local time, so that's sweet, dude. I'm so happy about that. It's been so long since I've actually gotten to enjoy a Ryan Hole YOL stream. But yeah. And once again, it makes sense that he's going live at 6, because like I said earlier, we're not at the peak intensity of this event, likely. It's really going to be in that evening to nighttime corridor tonight. Corridor, that's a weird way to put it. But yeah. Once again, it's this one storm that's keeping me live that I'm kind of interested in. Usually my outros get cut off of this stream because there's a stream delay of 20 seconds exactly. So the last 20 seconds of the live voice gets cut off, and that's when I'm wrapping up doing my outro. So sometimes the stream ends kind of abruptly because I don't do a big long outro like most people do for their streams. I'm just kind of like, I do like one of my normal video outros. I'm like, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace. But yeah, I'll try to stay live for a while after the outro so that you guys do get to hear that and I don't just pop off out of nowhere. But yeah, it'd be funny if I just hopped off now while I'm saying this and you guys didn't get an outro or anything. Once again, just reached that 1 hour mark on the stream. Weather's not quite intense, not as many people watching at all, so I'm probably gonna end soon. But yeah, like I said, I was going to be live. I did say earlier I was going to be live for an hour to an hour and a half, so I didn't want to break my promise, because usually I'll say I'm going to go live for a certain amount of time on a stream, and then I get cut. I have to go for some reason. I can't go live for that long as I say I'm going to, which I feel bad lying to my viewers. I mean, it's not even like an intentional lie. It's just, things happen. Like a best craft stream I did once. In like the first 6 minutes, my dad had to use the computer, which is kind of embarrassing. So it was a 6-minute live stream when at the beginning I was like, yeah, we're probably going to be live for about an hour like last time. But yeah. Oh well, water under the bridge now. And I mean, there's no use crying and spilt milk anyway. I just used 2 metaphors there. Not a big deal, and it was a long time ago. My English teacher would be proud. Probably not. She doesn't really like me. Said this about 150 times now, but one storm here is keeping me live. Gusts potentially upwards of 65 miles per hour. Why do I say pour every time? I mean to say per, but I accidentally say pour. But yeah. I also say but yeah a lot whenever I'm done finishing my sentence. Those are not real wind gusts, by the way, for anybody concerned. There's not really 125 mile per hour winds coming into Houston. That's just a weird radar signal once again. Otherwise, not only would I be live right now, but I would be freaking out. New severe thunderstorm warning. Man, they don't want me to end stream, do they? Oh, it's just for the Houston storm. They just extended the warning, and they didn't upgrade anything. So, I'm probably going to hop off here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This has been a pretty fun stream, honestly. I know it's a little bit shorter than my usual stream, but there's nothing to talk about, and nobody's watching anyway, so I'm going to thank everybody for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. I am going to stay live for a few more seconds that you guys can hopefully see a little bit of this outro at least, but, yeah. I will see you guys, later, I guess. I guess I could probably end stream now. I don't